Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Raquel. Today I'm going to do a quick Procreate tutorial about how you can create your own digital portraits using Procreate, an Apple iPad, and Apple Pencil. I don't know why I just said Apple iPad, but whatever, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, super simple tutorial for those that are kind of the beginner stages of Procreate and don't quite know all the tips and tricks, but you kind of know enough to maneuver your way around. I think this will definitely be beneficial to you. It's kind of a foolproof way to create a digital portrait that actually turns out really nice. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so first I have a blank canvas. I'm gonna go pull up the reference photo that I'll be using for this tutorial, which is a picture of Zendaya. I'm gonna enlarge it to fit the entire canvas and then rename it. I like to keep my layers organized, so I'll rename it as reference photo, create another layer called sketch, go to the Procreate sketch pencil, and prepare to draw my sketch. So I'm going to take the reference photo and turn the opacity down to about 50%, maybe 60%, whatever works for you, just so I can sketch over and see what I'm sketching. And then I just begin sketching. Just do a quick sketch, doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously, the more time you take on it, the more accurate it'll be. But this is how I do it. I try and get all the highlights and contours in too, so you'll notice some kind of random squigglies and circles. That's just from me to identify where the lights and darks will be. It just makes your color come on that much, I think, more realistic looking once you get to that step. So just sketching over everything, all the important parts. And so once you're finished, you want to make sure that your sketch layer stays as your topmost layer, other than your reference photo, which we'll get to shortly. That should always be your topmost layer so you can always see it. So now I am finished with my sketch. I have duplicated the reference photo and turned the opacity back up to 100. So that second reference photo will be my topmost layer, and I have shrunk it to kind of go to the side so that way I can reference it as I'm coloring in. So now I've added a background color. It's, up to you if you want to. I just prefer to have a background color just so it's not so boring, you know. But anyways, so I've moved my reference photo up to the top corner so I can refer back to it as I'm coloring in. And I'm creating another layer underneath the sketch layer, because remember, you want the sketch layer to be on the top. And I'm creating another layer called face. So I'm going to break it down by face, hair, and details. So we're starting with the face now. And all I'm doing is taking my finger and holding it on the reference image. And as you hold it, it'll create kind of an eyedropper tool, which will pick up the exact color that your finger's on. So that's the trick to it. You don't need to find your own colors. The eyedropper tool will do it for you. So you just hold your finger on it, pick the color, and color it. So see, I'm just picking colors from the reference image, holding my finger down, moving it along, finding the color I need, and just filling it in. So you're just picking colors and putting them where they belong. It's that easy. So I'm starting off, I filled in like a base color, and now I'm filling in kind of the contours first. And then I'll go through and do the highlights later, but I'm just filling in, picking colors from the reference image and putting them where they belong on my sketch. And I guess what I should have mentioned that I totally forgot to was the brush I'm using now just to fill in color is the painting brush. It comes with Procreate. It's like the round brush, one of the first brushes if you go under painting. So it comes with Procreate. It is free. And I just switch between different sizes of that same brush type. So if I need something a little more detailed, I'll make the brush smaller. If I need it bigger, I'll make it bigger. But that's the only brush I'm using. So just don't forget to switch from the sketching brush to your painting brush once you start filling in color. So now what I've done is I have made the reference photo bigger so I can kind of zone in on her eye and get those details in, but I'm still picking colors from the reference photo and filling them in on the sketch. So I think especially for beginners, using the eyedropper tool on the reference photo and applying it to your painting just makes it easier. It takes out the guessing work, because I think we have the tendency to paint what we think we see or draw what we think we see, not what we actually see. So by using the eyedropper tool, you might think one color is black, but really when you use the eyedropper tool, you'll see it's actually like a dark brown. And little tweaks like that make a difference in how your your final product turns out. So if you're just not real big on choosing color, you don't quite know how to do it, this is a good like stepping tool or starting tool. Just, it comes with Procreate, it's there for a reason. Use the eyedropper tool, take out the guessing work, and fill it in. You're just putting color where it belongs. That's all you're doing. And I mean, look, nobody needs to know that you was cheating, because your portrait is going to turn out awesome. People are going to ask how you do it. You're going to charge them money for these digital portraits, and they don't need to know how you did it. So use the cheats that come with Procreate. Just do it. So anyways, I guess you should also mention, when I color in, I usually do it in like a circular motion. I know this video is kind of sped up, so it's hard to tell, but I do move in a circular motion. And I also don't push the pen down fully. If you push the pen down, the pen is sensitive, so if you push the pen down fully, you're gonna get more color. If you kind of sketch over lightly, you'll get less color. I kind of go somewhere in the middle, so I'm not getting the full color capability out of the pen. I just keep it a little bit light. I think the color looks nicer that way. I kind of do it as if I was doing my makeup, so it's just kind of adding contours, highlights. But in this case, the tool is using that eyedropper tool and it's telling me what to do. I just have to put it in the right place. And so as you're using the eyedropper tool to fill in color, you want to try and get as many shades as possible. You will be blending later, but the less blending you have to do, obviously, the better. So if you can get your color placement put down to make it look like it's already blended, it's less work for you. Okay, so now I'm going through, I went to the sketch layer and I'm erasing the sketch marks within the face that I don't need anymore. Because I've already placed the color there, I don't need them as guidelines anymore. So I'm erasing them before I start blending. Now, I didn't erase the eyes or the eyebrows or like part of the nose and the lips, but everything within the face I've erased because I don't need it anymore to guide me. And now I'm switching to the smudge tool and I am blending all those colors together to make it look more flawless. Now you can use whatever brush you want to use to blend. I recommend one of the airbrushing tools, in medium or soft, or just the painting brush itself. The round painting brush you can use to blend as well. It's up to you, whatever look you're going for. I think I switched between an airbrush and the round painting brush. And I also changed the opacity while I was blending. You can see on the left, the opacity is a little less than halfway. And that's just because I don't want a harsh blend. I want it to be nice and soft. I'd rather have to go over a blend multiple times than just have it turn to mush. So I change the opacity so that way it's not blending as harshly. And once again, moving in a circular motion as I blend. And if you mess up, you blend too much, you can either undo your last move or you can go in and add more color and then just keep blending. I've done that in some parts where I've over blended, so I went in and added more color and then blended on top. Okay, so here, I'm not gonna lie, I really just got lazy. I didn't want to do the bottom half of her body, so I just erased it. So that's all that was right there. And then I'm continuing to blend, 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 blend. And you can see here, I think I over blended under her chin, so I just went in, added more color, and then blended out until I was satisfied with how it looked. So that's the cool part with digital art. You can always undo something or add to. Not a huge deal. And then once I get to a point where I'm satisfied with how the blending is, I'm going to create another layer, rename it as hair, and then I'm going to start working on her hair because right now she don't have any. She needs some hair. So same thing, I moved the reference photo on top of her face so that I can work around it and see all of her hair. Did the same steps with the eyedropper tool, picked the colors I need. With the painting round brush, went in and just started filling in the darks and the lights and all the different colors that I picked up from the eyedropper tool and placed them where they belonged. I also fill in like around her hairline where her baby hairs are and the part in her head. I filled that in with like a skin tone color And then when you go in and smudge it with the smudging tool, it kind of helps it look a little more natural when you blur in the skin tone to the hairline. Because remember, you're on a different layer, so anything that's on the face, you can't blend it into the hair. It has to be done separately. So if you need anything skin tone wise, you got to add it in there on the hairline or on the hair layer to be able to blend it. Hopefully what I just said made sense. And the reason I keep it on 2 different layers is just because in case I mess up on the hair or I do something weird or I accidentally put a pen mark somewhere, I can just erase it and not have to worry about messing up the face or messing up a different layer. So I like to keep them separate. You can do it all together if you want. It's really up to you. I just like to do it this way. It works for me. So that's why I do it, just to keep everything organized and to avoid any messy mistakes that will take me too long to fix. Okay, and then once everything's blended to your liking, you'll go to the sketch layer and erase your hairline sketches. Just get rid of them, you don't need them. And then we move on. All right, so now I've created another layer. I'm just gonna name it Detail. I'm gonna use this layer to do her earrings, to fix her eyes, because her eyelashes and whatnot still need done. Any additional highlights I wanna add, anything else detail-wise will go on this layer. So here I am doing the same method I've been talking about this whole video to fill in her earrings. And then once I'm satisfied with how their earrings look, I'll go back through, delete the sketch marks or erase the sketch marks until I am satisfied with how it looks. You know, and I used to be really big on like getting every single detail down, but I realized that's just like, it takes the fun out of it. I like to be a little more free flowing. So if it looks similar to the reference photo, I'm leaving it. I'm cool with it. It is what it is. Especially in this case where it's just a pair of earrings, like it is what it is. If it looks kind of like it, it's good to go. And now you're about 90% done with this drawing. The next thing I'm going to do is go to the sketch layer and erase any sketch lines that I don't need anymore. It's like around where her hair meets her body. And I'm gonna blend. So I'm going in between the face layer and the hair layer and blending those lines to make it look less kind of liney. I don't know what the word is, but just blending her neck to her hair, making it look nice and smooth. I'm going through in the face, the ears, anywhere that I don't need those sketch lines anymore. And you can either erase the sketch lines or you can blend the sketch lines because you might still want that dark line to help separate, you know, like the face from the ears, whatever you want to do. You can blend those sketch lines into the portrait. You can erase them. I kind of do a combination of the two, especially like in the eyebrows. I might leave some of the sketch lines because it makes it look, you know, a little more realistic, or I'll erase whatever ones I don't need. Especially around the eyes and the nose and even the lips, I more so choose to either lightly erase the sketch lines or blend them just to keep that kind of dark color there. But it's up to you. So you can probably see me switching between the smudge and the erase. If you'll notice when I am on erase, the opacity of the eraser is not 100%. It's usually about 50 or less. So I'm not fully erasing a line. I'm just lightly erasing. And then you can smudge or blend in however you want to do it. All right, then I just added some highlights to the lips, catching anything else I missed. So now I'm on that detail layer, and I think under inking there is a pen or brush called Studio Pen. I use that to fill in the eyelashes. I think it gives it a nice touch. It makes it look a little more realistic, and I'm just filling in the eyes, making them darker, making them stand out a bit more, doing her bottom lashes, and fixing anything else that needs fixed. And at this point, if everything's good to go, go ahead and sign your work. And then that's it. You're done. Okay, so hopefully that tutorial was somewhat helpful. If not, you think I can improve on something, let me know in the comments. If you liked it, let me know in the comments. Anything, any questions about something, I wasn't clear about something, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, all the other stuff them YouTubers be telling you to do. Please do, and thank you for supporting. Until next time, bye.